is your second year with the selection committee. Anything changed for you? Any new duties? Any new responsibilities?
You know, each year the conferences that you're in charge of change. So there's usually 3 primary conferences, and there's 4 secondary conferences that I have, so 7 to oversee. So those change a little bit. I'm still working with the Big Ten and a number of other conferences. We have subcommittees that we work on, like officiating and the RPI selection part. I'm going to be working with this area that looks at the first quadrant, how we identify some of those top 16 teams. Those are extra things that we're looking at during the season, we're reviewing. So it's a little bit different, but you know, I think as you go into the committee a little longer, you learn how to be efficient, watching games and following statistics and kind of staying up with things. So it gets to be a busy time of the year, but it's a great time of the year. Really enjoy it.
You mentioned watching games. It seems to be top heavy pretty much across the board in a lot of, not just in the country, but in a lot of these conferences. You know, maybe ACC 1 or 2 might be a little different, but I'm a top 25 voter, and you know, usually this time of year you might have 50 teams, 20 getting votes, 20 in the top 25, and another 20 getting votes. You're not seeing that. You only see 10 or 12 other teams getting votes, kind of like the end of the year instead of the beginning. So my question is, are you guys out seeing a lot more teams now? I know you do some on TV, but I would think you'd want to see a lot more teams in person now, with so many teams not being unknowns.
Yeah, so what we do is we have access to Synergy, DirecTV, but we watch Synergy. Synergy is every school, every Division I school in the country puts their games right after the game is over tonight. This game will go up, will be sent to Synergy, and anybody, you know, that's an account can look at it. I can look at it probably at 2 in the morning tonight, and I can watch this game from its entirety.
Right.
And so that's how we watch games. So I'll watch games on demand when I want to look at it, and that's how we pretty much look at games.
You don't want to be in person anymore? Well, that used to be a big thing.
Well, we try, and that's a good thing if we can, but realistically, you know, if you're watching 7 conferences, and there's probably half of those conferences might have 5 or 6 or 7, 8 teams that are worth seeing. So I'm going to look at a Big Ten team, probably watch them at least 3 or 4 times or more during the season. So I'm watching a game a day at least. Mm-hmm. So that allows me a lot more flexibility. So there's a lot of things that we look at besides watching games. We take a lot at statistics, various metrics. There's a lot of things that we'll review. We call the conferences. We talk to the conferences several times during the year. Right. So there's just a lot of information. We've got a conference call next week. We have a major one that we do in person in February in Indianapolis, prior to the selection week that we have in March in New York City. So there's a lot of work and information, a lot of information we get from the conferences about suspensions and injuries, and there's just a whole lot that goes into this, and there's a lot of people that work together on this to help us.